Silence as a weapon. What if the loudest person in the room is not the one talking, but the one who refuses to speak? A toxic person feeds on reaction. Every insult, every jab, every manipulation is a hook thrown into the water, waiting for you to bite. The moment you respond with anger, you have already lost, because you have handed them the exact reaction they wanted. Silence is not weakness. Silence is a closed door that no manipulation can walk through. When you say nothing, you deny them the show they came for. You take away their power without lifting a finger. Most people think silence means defeat, but in truth it is the most violent form of control you can exercise over a conversation. Toxic people are addicted to chaos, to drama, to watching you unravel. Starve that addiction, and you starve them. The next time someone tries to provoke you, imagine your silence as a mirror. They throw their poison at you, and it simply reflects back onto them because you refuse to absorb it. This single shift, saying nothing when everything in you wants to explode, is the first step toward becoming untouchable. It is uncomfortable. It will feel unnatural at first, but those who master it are never manipulated the same way twice. Turning insults into information. What if every insult thrown at you is actually a confession in disguise? When someone attacks you, they are not describing you, they are describing themselves. Their words reveal their fears, their wounds, their limitations. A calm mind hears an insult and instead of feeling wounded, becomes a detective. What is this person really afraid of? What insecurity is bleeding out of their mouth right now? This reframing changes everything. Instead of absorbing the pain, you extract the intelligence. You stop being the target and start being the observer. This is disarming because the attacker expects you to shrink, to defend, to argue back. When you instead study them with curiosity, they lose their footing completely. They came to break you and instead found themselves exposed. This is not about being cold or detached from humanity. It is about refusing to let another person's chaos rewrite your own reality. The next time cruelty is directed at you, resist the urge to argue the content of the insult. Ask instead what wound is speaking. You will find that almost every toxic outburst is a person screaming about their own suffering, using your name as the target. Once you see this pattern, you can never be manipulated the same way again because you have stopped fighting shadows and started reading minds. The calm question that ends the attack. What if the single most powerful response to cruelty is not a comeback, but a question? Toxic people are prepared for arguments. They rehearse insults, they anticipate defense, they thrive on conflict because conflict is familiar territory to them. But almost none of them are prepared for calm curiosity. A simple question, delivered without anger, without sarcasm, without a hidden blade, can dismantle an entire attack in seconds. Why do you feel that way? What makes you say that? Why does this matter so much to you? These questions force the attacker to explain themselves, and explanation requires reflection, and reflection is the last thing a toxic pattern can survive. This is not manipulation, it is exposure through stillness. You are not trying to trap them, you are simply refusing to play the role they assigned you. Most people meet aggression with aggression, and the cycle repeats forever. But meeting aggression with a quiet, genuine question breaks the script entirely. It forces the other person to either explain their behavior honestly, which often humbles them, or reveal that they have no real reason at all, which exposes them completely. Either way, you win, and you never had to raise your voice. This is the quiet power of composure over chaos, and it is available to you in every single confrontation you will ever face. Refusing the bait. What if the trap was never about the argument? It was about your attention. Toxic people design conversations like fishing lines. They dangle something irresistible, an insult, a lie, a provocation, and wait for you to bite. The moment you engage on their terms, you have entered their game, played by their rules, on their field. Refusing the bait means recognizing the hook before you swallow it. It means seeing a provocation for exactly what it is, an attempt to steal your peace, and simply declining the invitation. This does not mean ignoring reality or avoiding necessary confrontation. It means choosing your battles with total awareness instead of blind reaction. Every time you refuse to engage with manufactured drama, you strengthen your own mind. Every time you take the bait, you weaken it. This is a daily practice, not a one-time decision. It requires catching yourself mid-reaction and asking, is this worth my energy, or is this simply a hook designed to control me? The people who seem untouchable in the face of chaos are not lucky, they are practiced. They have trained themselves to see the bait before it reaches their mouth. And that single skill changes every relationship, every workplace, every family dynamic they walk into for the rest of their lives. Curiosity instead of judgment. What if the fastest way to disarm someone is to refuse to judge them at all? Judgment invites defense. The moment a person feels judged, they armor up, they fight back, they escalate. But curiosity invites openness. When you approach a toxic outburst, not with condemnation, but with genuine wonder about why a person behaves this way, you remove the fuel from the fire entirely. This does not mean excusing cruelty or accepting mistreatment. It means separating the behavior from your emotional reaction to it. A person screaming at you is not a monster to be feared. They are often a wounded creature, acting from pain you cannot see. Approaching them with curiosity rather than judgment does something remarkable. It often shortens the conflict because there is nothing to push against. You are not resisting them, so there is no wall for their aggression to slam into. This single shift from judging to observing is one of the most disarming tools available to a calm mind. It requires immense discipline because our natural instinct is to judge instantly and harshly. But those who learn to pause judgment and lead with curiosity find that conflicts resolve faster, relationships heal quicker, and their own inner peace remains completely untouched by other people's storms. Walking away as the final word. What if the most powerful sentence you will ever say to a toxic person is no sentence at all? There comes a moment in every toxic exchange where words have done everything they can do. Further argument becomes noise. Further explanation becomes fuel. In this moment, walking away is not surrender. It is the final and most complete answer available. It says, without a single word, that your peace is not for sale, your time is not free entertainment, and your presence is not owed to anyone who treats you with disrespect. Toxic people often panic when you walk away because your exit removes their audience, their control, their entire purpose. They may chase, they may escalate, they may throw one final insult at your back. None of it matters once you have decided that the conversation is over. Walking away is a skill few people practice because it feels like losing. In truth, it is the ultimate act of self-respect. It tells your own mind, before it tells anyone else, that your worth does not depend on winning every exchange. Some battles are won simply by refusing to fight them any further. The strongest people are not the ones who have the last word. They are the ones who no longer need one. What if the greatest battle you fight today has nothing to do with the person standing in front of you and everything to do with the storm inside your own mind? Somewhere, right now, someone is preparing an insult for you. A word, a look, a cruelty designed to pull you off your center. You cannot stop them from sending it, but you decide completely and entirely whether it lands. A toxic person is not an enemy to be destroyed. They are a test disguised as a person. Every insult they throw is a question asked of your character. Will you become like them, or will you remain yourself? Say nothing when your blood begs you to shout. Silence is not surrender. It is the closing of a door no manipulation can open. Let them wait for the reaction they rehearsed. Let them wait forever. When they insult you, do not defend yourself. Study them instead. Every cruel word is a window into their own suffering. They are not describing you, they are confessing themselves. Listen closely. and you will hear a wounded creature, not a powerful one. Ask a question instead of firing back an answer. Why does this matter so much to you? What happened to make you speak this way? Watch how quickly a person crumbles when met with calm curiosity instead of the argument they came prepared for. Do not take the bait. Every provocation is a hook thrown into still water. You are not required to bite simply because it was thrown. Let it sink. Let it float away. Your peace is not owed to anyone's performance. Replace judgment with wonder. The moment you stop condemning and start observing, the fight loses its opponent. There is nothing to push against when you refuse to resist. Aggression aimed at stillness simply falls to the ground. And when words have done all they can do, walk away. Not in anger, not in defeat, but in complete command of yourself. Let your absence be the answer no argument could ever provide. None of this makes you weak. It makes you unreachable. The world will always send you people who want to borrow your peace and never return it. Your task is not to punish them. Your task is to remain whole, regardless of what they bring to your door. Every calm response you choose today is a brick laid in the foundation of a mind that cannot be shaken tomorrow. Every insult you let pass without notice is proof that your center holds. This is not about winning arguments. This is about becoming the kind of person storms pass through without leaving damage behind. You were not born to react to every hand that pushes you. You were built to stand quietly, immovably, while the world tries every trick it knows to move you. Every response you have just heard is not a trick. It is a mirror held up to your own discipline. Toxic people will always exist. They will always test. They will always search for the crack in your composure. But now you carry 10 tools that turn every attack into an opportunity, every insult into information, and every provocation into proof of your own strength. The goal was never to win against them. The goal was to remain yourself, untouched, unshaken, and completely in command of your own peace, no matter what chaos someone else brings to your door. What if the loudest reaction you have ever wanted to give is exactly the reaction that makes you weaker? Somewhere today, someone will insult you, provoke you, try to pull you into chaos designed just for you. And in that single second, you will face the same choice every person before you has faced. React like they expect, or stand like they never imagined. The angriest people are not the strongest ones. The loudest comebacks are not the sharpest weapons. Real power looks like silence when everyone expects screaming. Real power looks like a calm question when everyone expects a fight. Real power looks like walking away when everyone expects you to stay and bleed. In the next few minutes, you will learn 10 responses that do not just win arguments, they end them before they begin. Not with cruelty, not with revenge, but with a stillness so complete that toxic people lose their grip the moment they meet it. This is not about becoming cold. This is about becoming unshakable. Stay until the end, because the 6th response alone will change how you handle every difficult person for the rest of your life.